Yes, people, welcome to the Shoestring Budget Podcast. Manchester United have happily seen away Tottenham Hotspur in a game that I was a bit nervous about. I'm not going to lie. Big shout out to everybody in the comments. Make sure that you spread this. Let's get as many United fans. Let's even get a couple of Spurs fans in here just to give them a bit of banter. Bring everybody on board. I am absolutely buzzing about tonight. What a game. Oh, insane. The performance of Manchester United in that was the best performance I've seen in years from them. And against a very difficult Tottenham Hotspur team, we made them look easily like a Sunday League team. They could not cope with what we brought in. Loving the comments already. Fred the Red. I love that. Pete straight away in with Fred the Red. Absolutely smashed it tonight. Everyone just go for the kill from Katie there. What a game. What a performance. Shout out to Tom in the comments, as well as Pete, as well as everybody else. Get them comments streaming in. Oh my gosh. It's not often that we see a performance like that. Let's be honest. It's not often. So when we see it, we have to celebrate it. Buzzing. Brilliant performance. So yeah, get retweeting, get sharing, put it all over Facebook, put it all over Twitter, get it everywhere. Let's celebrate this Manchester United victory. Not just a simple win. We played fantastic football. We're going to go through the player ratings, do all that good stuff that we usually do on a review show. But wow, buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Probably woke the neighbours up, probably still keeping them up. I don't care. I'm happy. I'm buzzing. Let's have a look at some of these comments here. Craig, evening JD, evening Craig. Thanks for joining us. More Fred the Red. Dallo, man of the match. Wow, that's a big shout. We're going to do the play rating, so make sure you get that score in. That was brilliant. That was a brilliant performance from start to finish. That was the calmest I've been during a United game for a long time. Craig, that is the most amazing point. I was so relaxed. Even from like the first 10-15 minutes, I thought, we've got this. Tottenham couldn't even get past the halfway line. We controlled that game. You go, Paul here, you know, the guy who gets the right result. You know what, I gave you a bit of stick in that earlier on today, and I said you're too optimistic, and you know, I'm happy with your belief and your passion behind that 2-0 scoreline that you predicted. So fair play, Paul. Great shout. Tom has put in the comments, we love this team. This is what we want to see. And again, we said this in the preview show. If you saw the JD and Tom show before the game today, we spoke about getting rid of Ronaldo. Getting rid of Ronaldo and watch how we attack. The fluidity, the movement, the passing, it's so much better when Ronaldo's not on the pitch. And that isn't necessarily against Ronaldo. That is just the way we play. We play so much better football without Cristiano in the team. And I said that yesterday, I said that again today before the game, and I'm reiterating it again now. Keep Ronaldo out the team. And we're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, don't you worry. Don't you worry, I am livid with that man. He has put a bit of a dark cloud on what was a fantastic night at Old Trafford. Fantastic. And Old Trafford was dancing, it was singing, it was streaming. Everyone was so happy. That's what we want to see at Old Trafford. Maybe we were generous by predicting 2-1 before the match. I think we were. I think we gave Tottenham too much respect. I think Tottenham thought they were going to turn up and maybe have a bit more of the possession and sort of, you know, maybe dominate possession a bit more, but nah. They had nothing. Eric absolutely outclassed Conte, without a doubt. You know what? After this game, I'm going to change the title of this video. Eric Ten Hag 2, Conte 0. Absolutely masterclassed him out this. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm making up words. Let's have a look here. The press was insane tonight. Wow. That was like when you saw before Eric Ten Hag came, we saw all the compilations of Ajax and the way that they press the ball. Now, I still don't think we're there yet. We certainly haven't done it on a consistent basis enough to believe that yet. But with the way we pressed tonight against a very difficult team, you know, they're above us in the league. They've only lost one game this season going into this game, which was against Arsenal, who are top of the league. And we made them look like, I would even say, a championship team today. I think we absolutely played them off the park, and we made them look a million times worse than they actually are. So let's give Eric Ten Hag and the boys credit for that. Surprised you didn't jinx us, Paul. That's from Craig. No, Paul, you got it spot on. Got to give you credit for that. Sancho didn't look up for it tonight, though. But we can talk about Anthony. What a player. What a player Anthony is. He is unreal, that boy. And, you know, I know it was a ridiculous price tag. And we always said, not his fault. And I'm really happy with the fan base for not making him live up to that price tag. I know we did that very much with Harry Maguire, rightly or wrongly, but it's never the fault of the player how much they cost. And yeah, Anthony at the minute is worth every single penny. What a signing he has been. And I just love the tenacity of him. We need to talk about the Ronaldo situation. I'm so disappointed in him. Do you know what, Craig? The thing that's annoyed me the most is this was a performance where you could get all the press on board, all the fans on board, and get everyone talking about how well we play football. Him walking off the pitch and making it all about him has taken away from what was a fantastic night, because you know now all the newspapers are going to be reporting on is how unhappy Ronaldo is, and Ronaldo's fell out with Ten Hag, etc, etc, and all Eric Ten Hag's going to be asked about is Ronaldo, instead of being asked about, you know, how did you masterclass this win, you know, who stood out for you tonight. Instead of being asked positive questions, again it's going to be negative Ronaldo comments, and I'm disappointed. Like, I am so upset that he did that tonight, considering even Eric Ten Hag has come out and said what a team player he is and how happy he is. And I kind of believe that. I believe that he is part of the team and he is for the team. I thought maybe we've misjudged him as a fan base, and as a media have maybe misjudged him as a self-centered kind of person. Nah, tonight he was bang out of order. Got loads of comments coming in. Keep them streaming in, guys. Loving these comments. A lot about Dalot as well. Dalot was class. He bounced back from those poor performances. Well, yeah, we said he was a bit shaky in the last few games. I think down to fatigue, but tonight he was back to his best. He was back to his best. We've got, Dalot was amazing. So much praise for Dalot. I'm a bit late, but Ronaldo was a baby there. Yeah, man, absolutely. Big shout out to YLLW. Absolutely agree. He was ridiculous, overshadowing what was a fantastic night. We will get on to, I think we'll talk a bit more about Ronaldo a little later on, because I'm still, as you can tell, gassed with that performance. Sometimes we can win a game and it's like, I was like this after the Everton game. I was like, you know what, it was one of them. You know, we won, we deserved to win, blah blah blah. Tonight we were unreal. We were the best at that. If we can do that on a consistent basis, no one's stopping us. All that should be in the papers is how amazing and technical yet that they played, but again it's going to be overshadowed. Ronaldo's ego is too big. He needs a bit of shape. Yeah, do you know what, these comments are great. I feel hypocritical in a way, because I know I'm adding fuel to the fire. I get we're a small channel, I get no papers are going to report on what I say, but I'm still feeding negativity towards you guys in the audience, and I do understand that I'm a hypocrite for that, but it needs to be spoken about. And we as fans, we should not be having to see that. We should be on a high now, but all we're going to talk about and all that's going to be over Twitter and everything is Ronaldo. It's a joke. Got Tio in the comments as well. Evening, big shout out to Tio. Martinez, man of the match for me. He had Kane under control. Do you know what? I didn't even realise Harry Kane was playing until like the 30th minute or so. You know, him and Son were, wow, they were awful tonight. Awful tonight. Let's have a quick look through this as well. More praise for Dalot, more praise for Martinez. I mean, I'm really shocked. I'm not really shocked that you're picking those two players out in particular, but I can't think of a bad performance tonight from any Man United player. Fred, I mean, let's do the player ratings. I can't stick around. I'm going to keep talking and go around in circles. We love this game. Dalot has gone into beast mode this season. Best right back currently in the league. We said, though, he had a bit of a wobble. And I'm reiterating it, it was down to fatigue for me. He's played every single game, and I think he's only had like a small rest when Lindelof played that game at right back. Other than that, it's been consistently Diogo Dalot. No Aaron Wan-Bissaka to back him up. And I think even when Wan-Bissaka is fit, I don't think he's going to get in the squad. But wow. Exactly, Jordan. Kane had the one chance and one good pass the whole game. Other than that, he got bullied. You remember at the start of the season when you Jamie Carragher, your Simon Jordans and your Graham Souness on TalkSport all said, oh, wait until he plays against a proper striker like Erling Haaland and Harry Kane. He's going to get bullied. Now, Erling Haaland's fair enough, but he's bullying big defenders, you know, well-known defenders. And Harry Kane was absolutely pocketed tonight by Lisandro Martinez. So I hope their apologies are as loud as their disrespect. I really hope it is. Let's get into them player ratings, guys. Thank you for these comments. Keep them coming in. And as well, a big shout out to today's sponsors, and they're going to be sponsoring us for the next couple of games. Up there, it's called boldtactics.com. You can check their link out in the description below. I am buzzing. I can't wait to see what they write after this game. So they do all the previews and all the reviews, and they put such a fantastic spin on it. It's so interesting to read, as well as they highlight all the statistics from the game, things to watch out for going forward. It's a really, really detailed website, and I really highly recommend it. And big shout out to Joseph and the team there for the work that they do, because it is brilliant stuff. So please support the channel. Just drop a like on the comments, and make sure that you check out the link in the description. So let's move to the player ratings. Make sure you spam me with your scores, guys. So this man, David De Gea. Let's talk about David De Gea very quickly. David De Gea has transformed under Erik ten Hag, it's fair to say. Wow, he's becoming a sweeper keeper. His distribution is on point. Everything that we were critical of David De Gea before, he has now overturned. And I said this before, earlier in the season, you can teach an old dog new tricks. Now, I was really highly skeptical of whether or not he could do this. I was a bit more leaning towards Dean Henderson fitting into the number one role at Old Trafford, just because of his, I think, the way he can sweep the ball, the way he can distribute the ball. But De Gea, ooh, and I hope we manage to sort out a contract with him, because the thought of another goalkeeper, let alone Jordan Pickford, who we've been linked with, taking that role, not for me. This man tonight, let's kickstart it. I'm going to give him a solid 7. Usually he gets a 6 because he doesn't really do much wrong. But tonight, distribution on point, very calm under pressure, the little pressure that he felt. He made that save. It was offside from Harry Kane in the second half, but the fact he made that save allowed us to make the break, and we got up the other end, and that's where we scored the second goal. And as well, on that note, big shout out to the referee for allowing play on. Let's have a look at some of your scores here for David De Gea. We've got here, I think this is Tio, I'm giving him a 7. Pete's United point of view, make sure you check out that YouTube channel as well. New up and coming Manchester United fan channel, just giving his opinions and things like that. So make sure you drop him a like and subscribe to his channel as well. Let's try and support each other in this. You know, we're a community, we're a positive community as well. We don't want, you know, negative stories all the time. Let's keep the fan base going and support other channels. Craig has put here, sorry, the comments are going wild. This is great. I honestly, sorry, I'm going through this so fast. So Pete's United point of view has given him a 7. Distribution was on point, and he made the saves when he had to. Great point there, Pete. I've got here Craig, I doubt it will get better, to be honest. There is just the way he is, and during a rebuild, we really didn't need this. We didn't need this from the go. We're going back, so I'm catching up on comments from before. So what on about Ronaldo? We will get to Ronaldo. I think we'll do that towards the end. Craig's going with a 7 for De Gea. Had nothing to do. His game has completely changed in a matter of months. I'm so impressed. Same here, man. Like, old dog, new tricks. Didn't think it was going to happen, but he's proved us wrong. Katie's put in, he's doing great. He's fully flexible to the changes that Ten Hag has made. A 7 for me. Yeah, I think we're going to be going with 7s across the board at this rate. Wow, okay. I think Paul here has put 8 for De Gea. His decision making on the ball was perfect. That's a very good shout. 8. I mean, you know what? I don't think it's 8's a ridiculous shout. 7.5. Let's boost it up just for Paul you. There. Craig's put, he needs to be dropped from the squad or given a hefty fine. I'm sure we're now catching up on the Ronaldo comments. I'm sure you don't mean David De Gea there. So let's move on. So we're going to go 7.5 for David De Gea. This guy is taking United to new places. Now, Diogo Dalot. I've seen a lot of comments and a lot of praise heaped on Diogo Dalot. And after what has been a few, maybe a week of sloppy performances, not necessarily bad, just tired performances, we saw the best of him again today, and the question of whether he was declining has been completely answered, and it's a resounding no. He is back on the front foot. I thought at the beginning of the game, some sloppy balls into the box, some just sort of hit and hope crosses that we're seeing. But as he grew into the game and took control, yeah, he looked a formidable force, trying shots, trying things, trying to create stuff. Exactly what you want from a fullback. Defensive work was fantastic. Alan Shearer on the commentary as well, he picked up on the fact of how Dalot reads the game. He really studies the game and knows where to be, positional play, and didn't put a foot wrong today. I'm going to go with an 8 for Diogo Dalot. Probably my highest score I think I've given this guy this season. So yeah, really, really good. Let's have a look at some of these comments, because I always like to see what you guys think. So, trying to catch up here. So, Dalot gets an 8. Dalot gets a 9 from Pete's United. Oh, wow. Dalot a 9 was superb going forward and has improved defensively so much. Great shout there, Pete. Don't think 8s or 9s are harsh to him. I don't think it's wrong to give him such high scores. He has been brilliant today. I'm really happy with him. Dalot is back with a force tonight, I think, an 8.5 for me. Maybe I've rated him down a bit too much then. Craig's put an 8. Craig's in tune with me. Me and you always in sync, Craig, I swear. He was solid, great on the ball, effective on the overlap, linked up well with Anthony, bounced back brilliantly after a poor performance. Brilliant analysis there, Craig. Absolutely brilliant analysis. And I'm glad to see him bounce back. Sometimes, when a player has a bad game, because we have probably the most reactionary football fan base out in the world, everyone kind of piles on him, but today he just bounced back, answered all his critics. Dalot is an 8.5 again. Decision making is so well. One thing he could have improved, and now I am being picky, but blocking more crosses. You know what, that's not a bad criticism, to be fair. Minor criticism, I get you. But yeah, there was a couple that, I think it was Perisic was up against him today, and he managed to put a couple of balls in that didn't really do anything because of the fantastic work of Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. We'll get to him. Varane, solid performance. I didn't really think he had loads to do, but whatever he had to do, he did well. And when you're not talking a lot about your centre-backs, it's been a good day. So I'm going to go with an 8 again for Varane. I would say a slightly quieter performance, but by no means bad. Cleared everything that he needed to do. Solid performance from him tonight. And like I say, quiet night for the defence is a better night. So have a look here. So Shuff, yes, big shout out to Shuff Man United. Great performance again. Dalot and Martinez are highlights this season. People saying he wasn't big enough for the league, proving them all wrong. Brilliant analysis there, Shuff. Thank you for joining us. Honestly, thank you. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe as well, guys. Helps the algorithm, helps get the reach out there, and helps bring more people in. Love the comments tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Craig's gone with a 7.5. Solid. That's it. Yeah, brilliant analysis. Varane gets an 8-2. His passing was clean and he defended well. His passing was very, very good tonight. Distributed it well, very calm under pressure, under the very little pressure that he did feel. And his positional play as well is just so good. Reads the ball well. Varane 7.5. This is from Pete. Varane 7.5. He was solid defensively, and his passing through the line was superb and played a really high line. I love nothing more than when you see United defenders on the halfway line, and you know that if the ball goes over the top, they're quick enough to catch it. The amount of times we saw Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof on the halfway line, and you just knew what was coming. Now with these two, it's a blast to the past. The Rio and Vidic days are coming back, I'm telling you. But yeah, solid performance here. KT's put Varane is a 7 for me. Quite a performance, but didn't do anything wrong. So we're going with 7s and 8s for Varane. Nice quiet night for him. Did everything that he needed to. This man, Lisandro Martinez, I've made no secret he is one of my, if not my favourite, signing for Manchester United under Erik ten Hag, and silenced his critics. As I said at the start of the video today, I started a podcast, that the amount of criticism this man got at the start of the season from the likes of Simon Jordan on TalkSport, Graham Souness, Jamie Carragher, everybody criticised this guy because of his height and said, is he going to cope in the Premier League? Now, I hope all of them are eating humble pie right now, because he has just pocketed one of the best strikers in the Premier League, statistically. He has just pocketed him, reduced him to one shot, and one shot that was, two shots, but one of which was offside. Brilliant performance. The only striker that I've seen him struggle against, and it was our entire defence, not just him, was Erling Haaland. Everybody else, Leacher has just taken him apart. Brilliant performance again today. Just did what he needed to. And to be honest, I'm gonna give him a 9 today. And the reason I'm gonna give him a 9 is because although Varane was fantastic, he had a job of marking Harry Kane, keeping Harry Kane quiet. For some reason that fell to Martinez, and he did a fantastic job. And like I say, Harry Kane, statistically, and over the past however many seasons, 4 or 5 seasons, has been one of the best strikers in the Premier League. He's rough, he's fast, he's well built, he's got height on him. He was invisible. Like I say, I didn't even know Harry Kane was playing until like the 30th minute today. This man is a goat of defending, and like I said before, I hope Simon Jordan, I hope you're listening to this one day, mate, and definitely Jamie Carragher, because he goes on about him a lot. I hope your apologies are as loud as your disrespect. I really hope that. So we've got some here. Man of the match, most involved player defensively in the battle with Kane, and he had 100% control over him. I am so impressed with how good he is. Fantastic point there, Paul. Oh, he's brilliant. Brilliant. A solid 9 for me. Man, he has a world-class potential. He's unreal. I just can't believe how good this guy is. I can't profess to know much about him at Ajax. I know he had that nickname about the Butcher, and I thought, okay, that's going to be interesting. And yeah, he's just slotted in, and he looks like he's been playing at United for years. Brilliant. So yeah, a solid 9 for me. Man of the match performance, he gets a 10. Wow, yeah, they've got 10s. Little fireball Martinez is definitely an 8.5 for me. Love how he gets right in there and controls. It's so true. These are great points. Craig's gone with an 8. What a player. Had Kane in his pocket, calm on the ball as always, passed through the lines and did nothing wrong yet again. Probably my favourite player, to be honest. Yeah, like I say, he's fastly becoming my favourite player, just behind Anthony, because I really love Anthony. I really do like him. But yeah, Martinez has proven his weight in gold, if not more. But I hope, we've got to clip this. So I'm going to clip some of this later. I'm going to send it to Jamie Carragher and see if I get a response, see if they bite. Got a comment from PB here. Shout out to PB. Martinez is playing amazing. Very true. He's brilliant. But yeah, I'm going to give a 9. You guys are going with 9s, 10s, a couple of 8s in there as well. Brilliant performance from him today. Luke Shaw, the man, the myth, the Shawberto Carlos is back. I've been saying it for weeks, and now we can all say it. Shawberto is back. This guy, wow. Being dropped to Malacia at the start of the season, you know, a lot of players would have dropped their heads. A lot of people would have given up. But not this guy. He persisted, and he has carried on, putting in performance after performance since he's been back in the squad. His attacking play was brilliant. His link-up play with Jadon Sancho was really good, I thought. And it's just his overlaps. The overlaps are so important, and they are almost pivotal to what Manchester United need. So I'm gonna go with an 8 for Luke Shaw. But I'm so happy that he has pushed through and has shown what a fantastic player he is, because we all know it's there, but we just don't see enough of it. Shuff has put, my baby, this boy Martinez. Oh, sorry, I'm just catching up with this one from Martinez. I need to read this out for Shuff, though. He's new to the channel. My baby, this boy is Martinez, is what we have been missing. 5 for 8. Can't be a centre half while he is unreal. Doubters put to bed. Brilliant. He won the most aerial battles in the Eredivisie, and it is carrying this over. For such a little guy, he's got leap on him. He's also put here, to the Premier League, you can tell the whole pride is hurting when they concede. It is what they want, Vidic-esque. Yeah, he is Vidic-esque, without a doubt. Let's have a look at some more of these. I'm loving these comments. Shawberto Carlos, yes, he's back, I'm telling you. Someone's put here, Carragher is a bellend. He needs to apologise as soon as possible. He does, and you'll never get that. Carragher's not the type to apologise. He'll say it was my opinion, etc. Name me a player other than Haaland that has really bullied Martinez to the point where you think, he shouldn't be in the Premier League. I can't think of one, and we are now 10 games in, which is a big fraction of the season. More defenders have been exposed in that time frame. The only wobble that he had was when he was next to Harry Maguire in the opening 2 fixtures. He didn't look as good as he does now, but quality attracts quality. You put him next to Varane, he's fine. Their partnership is brilliant. But moving on to Luke Shaw, gets an 8 for me. Shaw deserved one of them goals. Yeah, he did. He really did. A really good save from Lloris as well. He was brilliant tonight. 8 for me. That's from Katie. Thank you, Katie. Luke Roberto Carlos Shaw. He gets an 8 for me. Nothing wrong today. I like what I see, and I need him to keep this going. We all do. I love Tyrell Malacia. I think he's a fantastic player, and he has worlds of potential. But we need that competitiveness in the squad, and Erik ten Hag has spoke about that. There needs to be this fire and this competition in Manchester United, and Erik ten Hag is slowly bringing that back to Man U, and that's what we need. Let's have a look here. Big up to Joseph. This is Joseph's channel as well, who does the boldtactics.com, so make sure you drop him a subscribe on his YouTube, and make sure you check out that link in the description. Big shout out to Joseph. Those one-touch balls out of pressure that he does are so underrated, without a doubt. I think it's just the calmness he brings to the team. There's no sort of manic play from him. He just sort of composed, and he just picks out his pass and moves and gone. 7.5, he makes us really effective on the left-hand side, helps Sancho so much. Roberto Carlos is back. Yes, Craig. Yes, he is back. Loving these Roberto Carlos comments. He struggled against Tony, to be fair. It was one of his second games, though. Again, I do think, though, because he was partnered with... I hate blaming Harry Maguire, because I'm not about that as a fan. I don't like, sticking it to players. I really don't. But I think second game in the Prem against one of the most physical strikers in the Prem, in Ivan Toney, he's very underrated for his work rate. And I think a whole defence struggled in that game, but put him next to Harry Maguire, and I don't think it works in the same way as putting him next to someone with the solidity of Raphael Varane. But that's a very good point. Shaw has played tonight exactly how he did for England, and it's great. I never thought we'd get to see that Luke Shaw again. I really didn't. Schuff has put playing himself back into the England squad. Yes. I hope he makes it, and I know he will. Brilliant performance. Luke, keep it going, my son. Let the comments begin. Let the comment section go wild. This is where Pete has gone very quiet now, because this is where Pete's been ready to just spam the comments with Fred the Red. Fred is back. Fred the GOAT. It's coming, guys, so be prepared for these comments now to be obliterated if Pete gets his say. Now, this man, we slated him rightfully after that Newcastle game. Statistically, he played really well in that Newcastle game, statistically, but what I saw, what you guys in the comments saw, and what many other United fans saw was a poor performance. And I was so upset earlier today when I found out that Fred was in the starting lineup. So when we were doing the JD and Tom show, and it came out there, and someone in the comments put Fred to start, I was like, no, don't do this. But wow, he has proved me and everybody else kind of wrong. And there's a reason that I'll say that, is because with Fred, he can have games like this where he is on fire and unplayable and brilliant, and then our next game next week, and he could flop and score an own goal or just run around like a headless chicken. He's got both of those things in his locker. The thing that Fred has never had at Man U is consistency. And everyone's made excuses for him. He's played next to, McTominay. That's the reason it doesn't work. The system doesn't work. Everyone's made excuses. But today, he was fantastic. and he was arguably up until Bruno scored, and which I think lifted his game. But we'll get to Bruno. Fred was my man of the match today, and I'm going to still give it to Fred. I'm still giving Fred man of the match. And the reason I'm giving Fred man of the match, not for the goal was terrible, the deflected goal, but his work rate and also his brilliance, his creativity today was on point. There were still times where he did the typical Fred things of just being erratic and just sort of seeing a ball and kicking it and hoping for the best. We're going to get that from Fred no matter what. But there were times, a lot of times today, that he made killer passes, and because of the stick that I gave him before the game and after the Newcastle game, he today is getting my man of the match, and I will eat humble pie because this man was fantastic, ran the show in midfield. So I'm going to give him a 9.5. Not quite a 10, too erratic still, but a 9.5. But I can't wait to see some of the comments. Pete's already written an essay in preparation for this today. So let's have a look at some of these comments. Okay, Fredodino, I love that. Somebody called Craig. Yeah, so there was a lot in the comments after the Newcastle game with Craig and Pete about Fred's performance. I sided with Craig. I thought Fred was poor, but let's have a look. Pete's part of the Fred fan club. He's the co-founder of it. It's the fact. Let's have a look here. Fred is a 9. Wonderful. Yeah, 9 for Fred. Absolutely amazing tonight, considering we counted him out of the team in the preview video. So yeah, me and Tom did a preview video earlier, and yeah, we were both so disappointed when we heard Fred was starting. I was happy with the Rashford decision over Ronaldo, but when I heard Fred was playing, I was like, oh, I don't like this. Shame on us. I agree, Katie. I agree. I can't believe this, but he gets a 9. I'm screenshotting some of these guys. Next time someone says there's an agenda against Fred, we've got backup, don't you worry. Now this is Pete's monologue. My boy, Fred. Whoa, Pete's actually scored him an 8.5. Wow, I'm shocked at this. Was superb tonight. Great on the ball, moved it well, full of energy. Goal was a bit fortunate, and the assist for Bruno was lucky, but he was great. The goal was terrible, to be fair. You know, it was, if that had been scored against us, I would have been livid. It was a poor goal. Nice deflection that went our way. But 8.5, everyone else is giving him 9s, and Pete, you've been demoted from the Fred fan club now. Wow, shocked at that one. And then Craig's put, with the following comment, are you proud of your son, Peter? Pete today, Fred moved the ball very, very well. He moved it very well versus Ammonia, and he was not close to this level. Yeah, he was special today. Shuff, Man United has put, can't deny how good he was today, but it's consistency with him. He has so much potential to be like a Conte, but just too inconsistent. But today, he gets a 9 for me. Do you know what, Shuff? Yeah, I agree. I think 9's a fair score. 9, but for me, he's getting that 0.5, mainly because of the stick I gave him in the week. But yeah, I'm shocked at you, Pete. I'm shocked at you. Casemiro. Yeah, I'm gonna give Casemiro a 9 as well. I thought he bossed the midfield really, really well. Again, a lot of what you see with Casemiro is off the ball work. So very similar. He reminds me so much of Michael Carrick in the sense that you don't see a lot of what he does, and he just sort of appears there. You know, like I remember growing up watching Michael Carrick and really disliking him because I didn't understand what his role was. I used to think, get someone else that's better, blah, blah, blah. Michael Carrick did such an important job for Manchester United, and Casemiro is that player for us. And yes, for me, it's a no-brainer. He gets a 9, and I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I'm loving the fact now that we have a really solid midfield with replacements. So it was nice today to see Casemiro come off, and you've got people like Scott McTominay on, and you've got Fred, and you've got Eriksen. Just nice rotation in that midfield, and I'm hoping we can still strengthen there in the summer. Definitely won't get that in the winter transfer window, but yeah, I'm really liking the midfield, and a couple of signings go a long way. Let's have a look at some of these comments here. So Paul's put Casemiro a 9 as well. Wonderful. Joseph's put, there was a lot more intensity about the team today, a lot more urgency to take the front foot early, which was great to see. Again, on that point, Joseph, I did think we started really well against Newcastle. I think there was points in that game that early on in that game that we really took it to them, but we just couldn't find that killer pass or that killer instinct. We lacked it. But today, yeah, we looked really good right from the off. Marcus Rashford could have had a goal quite early on. A very good save from Lloris, but I'm really happy with the direction we're going in. Katie's put Casemiro 7.5 for me. I need to get more in on the off the ball work because I could probably score him higher, but it was too exciting to notice anything else but the ball. In this particular game, I give you that because it was just so fast. It was so attacking, and I think we were all our blood pressures were high and we were all pumped. But yeah, watch his off the work ball. Even if you watch the highlights or watch the game again, just watch what he does off the ball. It's insane. I always try and keep an eye on him. Someone's put here, Craig has put 8.5, fantastic again. His potential awareness is fantastic. Wins the ball fantastically well. Breaks the lines. We finally have a competent midfield. It's taken so long, but we've finally got there. Katie's too harsh on Casemiro. Come on. Again, I think, each to their own. Oh, Katie actually has changed the score to 8.5 before that comment, actually. So, yeah, she has boosted that up. Pete's put Casemiro 8, broke up play so well and plays it simple, just makes us tick really well. Enjoying watching him play passes forward a lot more than I expected. Yeah, I had this kind of image of Casemiro being sort of a side-to-side footballer, but his direct play is really good, and he could have had a goal as well today. We forget that. He going forward, he's really good, and he gets at least one chance a game. He hasn't scored yet, but once that starts happening, I think we've got a fantastic deal here with signing Casemiro. We love this game. Probably going to be the winner of my favourite name so far. I love that name. We love this game. Casemiro the controller. I love that. Let's make that a thing. Casemiro the controller 9. Brilliant score. Absolutely awful mistype. So Katie's now apologising. It was meant to be an 8.5, but she accidentally put a 7.5. We'll forgive you, Katie. It's a good note. Shuff Man United, most underrated position. Never seems to win Man of the Match awards, but so vital to build on. And Casemiro is mustard. May not be Real Madrid Casemiro, but he is class. 8.5. Brilliant points there, Shuff, as well. I really enjoy what you guys have got to say tonight, and I think we're on sync. There's only a couple of you guys are mostly going with 8.5s for Casemiro. I went with a 9. Not much in it. 0.5. Now this man Bruno, I can understand why people would want him as man of the match. And if Fred wasn't playing, he'd be my man of the match. The only reason he doesn't get it for me is because of the disrespect I gave Fred. Now I did disrespect Bruno a little bit before the game. I highlighted the fact that statistically Bruno is better when Cristiano Ronaldo is not in the squad, and it was highlighted again today. His work rate has been phenomenal all season. He runs everywhere, covers every blade of grass, but his distribution sloppy a lot of the time today. I think it was Tio sent me or posted up a statistics chart of him, of a heat map of him. Today, Bruno actually made 8 key chances today, 8 key passes, or potential goal scoring chances. He made 8 of them today, which is amazing. Bruno, I hope we start to see less of Ronaldo. I really do. Not just because of what he did today at the game, but we play so much better without Ronaldo. Having Bruno as the main man, he links up the play so nicely, and yet he still tries his Hollywood passes, and until we get more quality around him, that's going to happen. That's just a product of his game. But we're starting to, today we saw a fantastic performance from Bruno. Let's give him credit where it's due. Today he was brilliant, and I would like to see what happens now going forward. I can't see Ronaldo, to be honest, making the team much more after what he did today. Eric Ten Hag doesn't seem the type to just say, yeah, come back in Ronaldo, like Ollie would. Ollie would have done that. So I think Eric's going to punish Ronaldo, and therefore that might unlock or re-unlock Bruno Fernandes. But for me tonight, he gets a 9. Thought he played really well, and he took his goal sensationally well. As soon as he hit it, you knew it was going in. Brilliant goal. So have a look what you guys think here. Bruno 8.5 looked like himself again. He did. It's like when Ronaldo plays, the team become really rigid. And I've got to keep reiterating the point. It's not Ronaldo's fault. It's just the way we play around him. It's almost like, you know, it's like with kids in a playground and the big kid comes and plays and you think, oh, I've got to try and get him the ball, otherwise he might beat me up. It's like they're scared or they're more rigid when he's in the team. Take Ronaldo out and they're just trying everything. And I like that. I prefer that because it pays off. Look at Fred's goal today. Fred would have, if Ronaldo was in that team, Fred would have been trying to pass him the ball. And we wouldn't have got that opening goal. So yeah, I just like the fact we're trying things. So I got 8.5 for Bruno. Fantastic performance. His best in a while. What a goal, by the way. Oh, it was, as soon as he hit it, I just knew it was in. Brilliant strike. Bruno was getting on my nerves at first, in all honesty, but then he just got better and better. 8.5 for me. I do agree with that. I think he got better as the game went on. I remember posting up into the group chat saying, you know, what do you all think of Bruno? And there was some mixed comments. Some people saying sloppy passing. Some people saying, you know, he's not doing enough. But he got it over the line. He picked up the pace and yeah, he ran with it. It was really, really good. So Kate's going to go with an 8.5. So Pete's put here, Bruno, my man of the match. 10 was superb second half. When it comes off his high risk, high reward style, just makes us superb. Yeah, like I say, I've got no criticism. If anyone wants to score him a 10 today, I couldn't argue with that. You know, on another day, he'd be my man of the match. But second half onwards, he just really came into his own. And I hope we start to see that on a consistent basis. You know, we criticise these players, but all we want is for them to be the best. We want Manchester United to be the best. And yeah, this man, I've always said, I think this man will lead us to great things. Shuff has put here, where has he been the past few performances? Seems we have left Ronaldo out. He gets the free roam and looks good. He needs to step out of Ronaldo's shadow and be his own man. And George Shuff is giving him a 9. Oh, it's so true, Shuff. It's so true. When there was a few people said to me before, well, just as Ronaldo signed, that Bruno and Ronaldo don't link up well for Portugal. Now, I don't watch a lot of the Portuguese games, so I don't know, but I'm starting to see that at United. Bruno's numbers dropped drastically last season, and they did a statistic on it based on when Ronaldo wasn't in the team and when he was, and Bruno was considerably better when Ronaldo wasn't in the team. And after Ronaldo's little stomp off earlier, his little strop, we might not see Ronaldo back in the red of Manchester. Who knows? We love this game. Bruno is a different player without Ronaldo in the team because Ronaldo, 9 for me. 9 again, 9s and 10s for Bruno, which is so nice to see because we do not get to see this enough. You know, we don't get to see this enough. Let's have a look here. And as well, Bruno gets a 9 for me. It was a good off and on the ball. It was good on and off the ball. So good. Yeah, I'm liking these scores. So yeah, I'm going with maybe a 9.5 joint with Fred. I don't know. I can understand 9s and 10s. I'm going to go with a 9 just because Fred was my man of the match. Moving on to the front three now. I think this guy here, Anthony, has been unreal for us this year. And today he was... I said in the last game against Newcastle, I'd like to see him try and take on more players. He seems to sort of get so far, then pull it back. But today, we saw him taking on players and winning. And not just winning one-on-ones, he was winning two-on-ones. And yeah, he was really good, really, really good again today. I noticed he came off with his sort of shorts lifted. Some people said it could be an injury, and I hope to God it isn't an injury. Oh, we've got some, I've made it, we've got some pornographic things in the comments, so if that's your kind of thing, feel free, but don't know if I can get rid of them. But I am going to go with, let me just see if I can get rid of these. Nope. Sorry guys, just be careful not to click them. It makes the comments look busier. I thought, hey, he's posting all these emojis, and then I read it and I was like, oh dear. So yeah, just be careful you don't click on that. But Anthony, for me, I'm going to give an 8.5, maybe even push to a 9. Again, brilliant, tenacious performance. Gives 100% for Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag. He's almost like he idolises Eric Ten Hag, and he's almost like how Darren Fletcher was with Sir Alex Ferguson. He's almost like the goody two shoes, the teacher's pet. He wants to be loved by Eric Ten Hag, and it was almost like Eric Ten Hag's kid. Look at me, Dad. I want to be the best. But yeah, for me, he gets an 8.5. Let's have a look at some of these. Someone is getting frisky and excited over the score. I know we're getting some amazing comments in here, aren't we? Tinderhot. I don't want to read this out because I'll get banned. So let's have a look here. We got a spammer on the chat. We got bots in the chat. Maybe they could give their predicted or their score for Anthony as well. Let's have a look here. Pete has put here. Anthony 8, love his effort and his desire to press, such a good player, silky and oozes class, starting to see his arrogance a little more, and I like it. That's a fantastic analysis of his game and his potential. Anyway, as the face of Anthony FC, so this will be Tio. Okay, so he's the face of Anthony FC. He's the CEO of the fan club. He gets a 7.5 for me. He was good though. Wow, okay. I mean, please put in there why you think a 7.5. I'd love to see why you rate him at 7.5. Kate's put Anthony as an 8 for me. Another little fireball for me. You can see the passion in his face and movement. He tries, and today he succeeded, and he was very close to scoring his 4th goal for Man U, just clipping the post. But yeah, really good performance, I thought, from him. Shuff's put here, Anthony, you can tell he knows what it's meant to wear our shirt. 8.5, unbelievable workhorse. Yeah, he does. That's what I love the most about Anthony, and we saw that right in that first game against Arsenal. He just oozes Manchester United. He wants to be there, and he loves Old Trafford. He loves the fans, and yeah, he's going to be a big part of our future without a doubt. We love this game, said Anthony. 8.5, needs to keep variation in his game. Now that's a very good point. Mixing it up with in behind runs, I thought he'd done well today. Yeah, that is something very true. Now again, we all kind of laughed at Paul Scholes' analysis where he said he's sort of a one-trick pony. We talk about this a lot, but there is an element of truth to it. But it will come. I've seen more from him today, and it gets better every time we see him. He's just building, and still young, still got a lot of fire, and he's going to make it. He's one of them that will never give up. So Tio's put here, his decision making is a bit off at times, but he does work very hard off the ball too. If he gets his decision making up, he will tear the league up. He is going to be, if he can perfect his game, he could be on the very top level. Now, I'm even going to go as far as saying he could be on the Ronaldo and Messi level. And the reason I say that is because I have never seen a player like Anthony. The only other player, that I have seen like Anthony was Cristiano Ronaldo when he first signed for United. Very raw, very rough, just poor decision making, but that fire and that desire to win. Now, if Anthony sees that through and he can look up to someone like Ronaldo and become a similar kind of player to Ronaldo, there's nothing stopping him from making it that far. And that might sound crazy now, and it'll be clipped one day when he's playing in League 2 or something like that if his career goes down. But I'm honestly putting him up there. He has the potential to be one of the best in the world. Anthony needs to work on his right foot. If he can get out the line and cut across back, and it's just another dimension to the team. We highlighted that in I think it was the Newcastle game, that all he seems to be able to do, it might have even been yesterday actually, that defenders know what to do with him because he's only good with his left foot. I think Pete said he only got one cross in with his right foot against Newcastle, so he always has to cut back and try and hook the ball over or hit it with the outside of his foot. So defenders have sussed that out. But you're right, that's a very good point, Craig, very good point. But I'm going to go with an 8.5 for Anthony. Really good performance. Jadon Sancho. Now, this one, for me, he was our worst player, but I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't mean that he is a terrible player or anything like that. I'm still going to score him highly, but out of every single player, he was the one for me that looked out of place. And I don't know if that's me being harsh. I'm a big Jadon Sancho fan, buzzing when we signed him. But I don't know, just something doesn't seem right. I don't know if it's because he doesn't get time, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if he wants more time. He doesn't seem confident enough yet to take players on. We don't see enough of it. A player like Jadon Sancho, when we looked at signing him, and we all saw the compilations of him tearing up the Bundesliga, I thought we got a player here that can really replicate that in the Prem, but he just doesn't even seem to try and take players on. Now, I'm still going to go maybe with a 7 for Sancho, which is still, I think, the lowest score that I've given anyone. It's still a very good score, but I don't know what it is. His confidence seems to be low, and I know he gets tore apart, and I know he's probably one of these people that goes on social media all the time and sees what people say. He's young, and he is very marketable like that. As a fan base, we need to protect this man because he's got real potential, real potential. And we need to do more as a fan base to protect him, because a lot of people will be calling him out and saying he should be wearing the red of Manchester and get him gone and all this. And he's a flop and a failure, etc. We've got a real strong player here, and we, like I say, protect him, give him time, and he'll come good. I got a comment here from Pete. Sancho was a 7, was the only player that was a little quiet. He did have his go at his man at times and try and take him on. Just would like to see him do it a lot more. That's my issue, Pete. That is my issue. He just, I don't know. It seems like he stops, waits, sees what goes on, and then tries instead of just running at them. Anthony will run at them, at least. I think if you took a little bit of what Anthony had and gave it to Jadon Sancho, we'd be talking about a player and a half. He just needs that fire, and it will come, but I do think with him, his confidence is very low, and you can see that. So Craig's gone 6.5 for me. He was poor, but he tried to beat his man. Sometimes, something is up with him, but it could be a confidence issue. I think it is. I think it's a confidence issue. Sancho needs to up his game, to be honest. I'd give him a 6. Is that a 6? Because he annoyed you, but a 7 is fair. Yeah, he's just not right there at the minute. I don't know what's going on. I know there were some people said it was maybe an issue with family members or something, but I don't know. Something isn't right though, is there? You can definitely tell. Sancho wasn't bad, but quiet game for him. Still gets a 7.5 because nothing went wrong for him. I think that's a good point. He didn't really do much wrong, but he was the flattest, I think, of the United players tonight. 6.5 was poor. I've got also here, Schuff has put, he is not the Sancho of Dortmund by any stretch, but he will in time be that guy. If we play with these attacking wingers, he is our man. 7.5 today for me. Yeah, 7.5. Joseph has put here, Sancho is like Grealish, he's a dribbler, and Eric Ten Hag has said to him, you don't dribble, you pass, and I think he's just adjusting to a new way of playing football. That's a good point, Joseph. That's something I don't think we've really explored. You know what, I'm going to look into that in more detail, Joseph. I think that's a fantastic point. Question on Sancho, would you use him as a 10 with his combination and link-up play? I would love to see Sancho down the middle, and I kind of got laughed out of some comments before because I said that. I was on another talk, like another YouTube channel, discussing that, and I did actually say Jadon Sancho is a 10 if we rested Bruno. I think I even said it before this game today, actually. I said I wouldn't mind seeing Sancho down the middle. I think him and Rashford in particular would link up so nicely. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think he has an understanding of the game. There's a lot more to play in that role than just trying to create chances. You've got to read the game in such a way that you'd have to be playing that position for years. But yeah, it's not a bad shout, and I don't think it's a ridiculous shout at all. Sancho as a 10 could work. I do think I would love to see it if we were 6-0 up in the game or something, and Eric Ten Hag went, yeah, just stick him there and see what happens. I don't think he'd do a bad job. I really would like to see it. The sad thing is we have kept him out of the England squad, and we can't deny that. Yeah. I think any other team, potentially any other team, he'd be in the England squad. I still think, though, Gareth is a little harsh to not take him. I do think he offers something a bit different to Bukayo Saka, and, I mean, not that you should drop these players, But he does offer something a little bit different to those kind of players, a little bit more of a direct play. And I think at England he might have a bit more freedom to attack. Like Joseph said, if the comments from Eric Ten Hag has been you don't dribble, you pass, which I think is a fair point, we might be holding him back slightly. But he will adjust, and I'm sure he'll come back. By the way, he has an assist for Fred's goal. Wow! He also got the Fred got the assist for the Bruno goal. There was a goal that Sancho got. I think it was the Ammonia game. He got the assist for as well for McSauce in that game. But yeah, his statistics aren't that bad when you look at it. I think he's got 2 or 3 goals and a couple of assists. Not really that bad, but there's just something about his overall play. I think if he could just up it slightly, get that fire, a little bit like Anthony, and we'll be seeing mad figures with him. He's keeping himself out the England squad, Shuff. He's not been performing to the level that deserves an England call-up, and I do think that's fair. Maybe I thought at the start of the season, after the first 3 games, I think he had 2 goals. And I didn't think Bukayo Saka was performing well at that point, nor was Phil Foden. And I thought, let's just give Jadon Sancho a chance in these friendly games, and let's just see what he does, see if he fits with Gareth Southgate's team. In a similar way to when we took Ivan Toney, I thought it's a good thing just to see if he fits into the mould. But it didn't even look at him then. So I think no matter what happens with Jadon Sancho, he's not getting into a Gareth Southgate England team. Neither have we, but Maguire gets the nod. So did Shaw. It's bemusing to me. So let's have a look here. It's because I've got all these lovely adult messages that keep popping into the chat and then disappearing. Bemusing to me that game and shape have destroyed his confidence. That our game and shape have destroyed his confidence. Yeah, that's not a bad point, Shuff. Maguire getting the shout, though, and Luke Shaw is just another example of Gareth Southgate's insistence of picking loyalty over performances, which is something he said he wouldn't do. But I'm not going to talk about Gareth Southgate because I think we'll be here all night. Solskjaer is the reason he's not in the England squad. Destroyed his confidence. That's from Pete. And I think this is Tia was put, Pete, be careful there. You're going to make Paul angry. Oh dear. Okay, we're going to have an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer fight in the comments. Keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. But yeah, Jadon Sancho, 7.5, I think, across the board. Marcus Rashford. Woohoo, this one's going to be a tough one. Marcus was brilliant. His movement was good today. And it's just, he can't score. I don't know what is going on with Marcus Rashford. I think the shots that he had were a little too close to Lloris. I think a normal striker, a number 9, would have put them in the corners. We need a player that is like Marcus Rashford with his pace and his movement, but with the finishing of someone like Ronaldo. And then we're talking. Then we're making big noises. It's time for Cody Gakpo. It's time for Cody Gakpo. I know I said I wouldn't do it, but I'm going to. We need Cody Gakpo. He did his press release today with Fabrizio. Fabrizio actually retweeted the stuff about how close he was to signing for Manchester United, and it was pulled away at the last second because of our ridiculous owners. Imagine Cody Gakpo in this team when we're playing like we're playing today. Oh man, it would be messy. He'd probably have Erling Haaland figures now. I am going to say it like that. We are needing someone like Cody Gakpo. But Marcus Rashford, I thought his movement was good. I think his work rate was actually all right today. I'm going to go with an 8.5 for Marcus. Deserved a goal. Good saves from Lloris. Really good saves. Let's have a look. I can see a lot of Solskjaer's name being mentioned a lot in the... Paul is Solskjaer's agent. He's Ollie in disguise. Okay, a lot of Ollie. So Pete has put Rashford as an 8. Played well, but the Pogba juju has been put on him. Do you know what? I think there's some truth in that. Because if you look at Mbappe's actually been banging, right? Now, Marcus Rashford was linked with PSG. I think some voodoo's got mixed up with him. He's definitely been jujued. There's not a doubt. Without a doubt, he's jujued. And, we're going to have to sort of sacrifice a lamb or something to get this curse off him, because he needs to be scoring these goals. And he deserves it. Let's have a look here. So yeah, Rashford at 8. Could have been a 10 to be honest, but he was trying to burn Lloris's hands. That's a good comment, I like that. He should place the shots and not blast them. Yeah, I agree with that, TR. That's a fantastic point. They were too close to Lloris. You should be aiming for the corners there. Craig's giving him a 7. Good movement, but he couldn't score. Don't think... Sorry about these comments are going crazy. I love it. Don't think he has the attributes or the instincts of a striker. No, he should definitely play on the wing. But at the moment, while Martial's injured, I would much prefer to see Marcus Rashford over Cristiano Ronaldo down that centre. I think he just brings so much more to our game. And the overall team seemed to respond better when he's the man leading the line. Sorry, the comments are going crazy. I see a lot of Solskjaers. I'm trying to get to the scores. Rashford just made that finish. He looked absolutely... Oh, sorry. Rashford just needs that finish. He looked absolutely gutted every time he missed. He gets a 7.5 for me. 7.5 for you as well, Tio, as well as Katie. Gakpo and JD is a match made in heaven. The day we sign Cody Gakpo, oh my gosh, I am going to be celebrating hard. I might even change the name to, the Gakpo Budget Podcast, because I cannot wait for the day we'll probably end up won't sign him. He'll go to Leeds, or Southampton. You just know it's going to happen, and I'll be sat there crying. Let's have a look here. Yeah, me and Gakpo, man. I just need him in this club. We need him. Rashford had good work rate today, lots of effort, which is the main thing for me. 7.5 because he didn't deserve a goal. But he kept firing them right at Lloris. Sorry, because he did deserve a goal, but he kept firing them right at Lloris. Yeah, I don't know what it is. The thing is with Rashford, if you're playing him on the wing, he can cut inside, he can bend the ball around. When he's playing as that 9, he doesn't know how to find a corner. He does hit and hope. Yeah, I think that's a fair thing. Pete put about him and Fred being a match made in heaven. Yeah, Pete, and you've given him the lowest score tonight. I'm shocked at you. Shuff has put here, we wanted him to be our 9, then moved him out wide. I think his confidence is hurting still, but he is so much better this season than last, and tonight looked good. 7.5 deserved a goal. So, disclaimer, we are releasing our Marcus Rashford video on Friday, the rise and fall of Marcus Rashford, and it will highlight the rise of his career, when things went well for him, and then it will also discuss when things went badly for him as well. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. It'll be dropping probably about 6 o'clock on Friday evening, but I'll make sure it's all on Twitter for everyone to see. So that's one that I think a lot of you'll like. If he joins Liverpool, the obsession will be over Craig. I'm not sure who that is referring to there, but hopefully not Marcus Rashford. But yeah, you'll cry tears of joy when we sign Gakpo. Oh, if we're on about Gakpo joining Liverpool, I will riot. I think I will actually riot if that happens. I don't even want to talk about it. Let's not even think about that. He's going to be in the red of Manchester by hook or by crook. We'll raise the funds together. We'll start a crowdfund just to get him at Old Trafford, I'm telling you. Now, the last thing, we're giving really good scores, and it was a fantastic performance. I am going to bring it down a little bit now. Let's talk about very quickly, because I know you've been here ages, and I really appreciate you guys staying on this long. I know it's late. Cristiano Ronaldo. I think we'll probably do a live tomorrow night talking about this, because I am livid. Absolutely livid with him tonight. We spoke a little bit at the beginning, but he has marred what was our best performance this season. He has single-handedly marred what is a fantastic performance and a fantastic result for Man U. For me, he's finished. For me, he should no longer be a Manchester United player. He should be completely humbled. If that is the reason that he left early, there is obviously a very slim chance it could be for something else. Something could have come out whilst this podcast has been on. But right now, based on the fact that he just walked out, for me, that should be Ronaldo out of the picture. And it's a sad, sad way to go. It's a really sad way to go for all of us that have followed him, his entire career, that have supported him when he's done really bad things or tried to see the best in him, and we've defended him. I just think now is the time to go. If that's the way he's going to be, he should never, ever step foot back onto the Old Trafford pitch, other than to say his goodbyes. I think we owe him at least that. But I think we'll do more of a discussion about that maybe over the weekend when more news comes out, or if not tomorrow. I know it's late, but I want to just say, guys, thank you to every single person that has watched this tonight, and thank you to all of you in the comments. It's been great. I love seeing you guys laughing in the comments and getting involved and, you know, chucking your opinions in. But I'm going to read some about Ronaldo. I can see some comments feeding through now. Ronaldo, I mean, shocking, regardless of whatever circumstances he walked off for. It was disgusting and unprofessional. He looked so spoiled. Again, at this moment in time, I don't know if it is because of something that happened. I mean, there's a very slim chance it could be that he's had to rush home or something's happened. But what we saw and how it looked was horrific. So disappointing. If Ronaldo played and scored a hat-trick, he would have got a 0 just for walking down the tunnel. Childish behaviour, but maybe he needed to do a number 2. Like I say, Craig, it could have been that. I agree with that. It could have been literally like nature called. And if it turns out to be something like that, I will apologise. But based on what it looked like, nah, that's it. He's finished. We always had his back, but tonight was not good at all. Very good point. I was disappointed with his reaction, but I also feel for him too. It must be difficult that he's not the main man anymore after being the best in the world for the last 15 to 20 years. Now, yeah, I get it must be tough. I mean, I'm not the best at anything, so I don't know, but you know, when you're the height of Cristiano Ronaldo, and then all of a sudden you're being dropped for what on paper is one of Manchester United's worst ever teams. It must hurt. It must hurt your ego. And on the flip side, you must look at it in a way that we perform poorly when Ronaldo's on the pitch, and yet when he's off the pitch, we have performances like that today. I think that must be quite embarrassing for someone like Ronaldo, because you think, well, hang on, am I the problem? Is it because of me? I think that might be on the back of his mind as well. But for all the talk of Erik ten Hag, you know, saying he's a team player and he's in it with the team, and, you know, we see all the press release shots of him in training and he's sort of smiling and laughing and he seems to be a real part of it. After walking out on your teammates like that, it doesn't look like he's for the team. It looks like he's there for himself. And that is, we kind of knew that at the back of our heads, but tonight it's kind of been confirmed, which is never nice. Let's be totally honest. Are you surprised he did what he did? The worst bit is Shuff. No, I'm not. I'm not surprised at all. I'm just disappointed that he still did it. It's one of them things that you know he's going to do it eventually, or there's something like that. He did it in pre-season where he left the game at half-time, and I wasn't surprised that he did that. But in a Premier League game, when your team is playing fantastic football, when you should be celebrating, imagine what that dressing room was like after the game. I bet they were buzzing. They've been consistently poor over last season. Then all of a sudden, it clicked tonight against a difficult Spurs team who are above them in the league and scored more goals than them, better defensively. You've gone to, you know, you've taken them and absolutely battered them. And then you look around and Ronaldo's not there celebrating with you. Worst bit is I'm not disappointed. Joseph's put here, I really dislike his behaviour. It's crazy. Good point, to be fair, Shuff. I wasn't surprised either. I don't think many people were. Good night, Tio. Thank you so much for tuning in, mate. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Great show, JD, once again. I agree with Katie. Very spoiled behaviour. Seriously, this channel has been amazing since it started. Loved having a chat with everyone here, and your other videos have been mint too. Thanks, JD. Thank you so much for the support, guys. We wouldn't be here without you guys. And Craig's put, it didn't look very good at all. Very poor behaviour. He either gets dropped or gets a hefty fine. Ten Hag needs to be ruthless. The best thing, Craig, on my final note, is Erik ten Hag is a ruthless manager, and I can't see Ronaldo surviving this. That's just my opinion. But as ever, guys, it's been lovely talking to you all, and let's continue the conversation in the days and weeks to come. Make sure you check out that video on Friday about the rise and fall of Marcus Rashford. But huge thank you to everyone. Final note, make sure you check out Ball Tactics. The links are in the description. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's been written about tonight's game, because I'm buzzing. I'm still buzzing, and looking forward to seeing what Joseph and the team have done there. See you on the next one. Peace.